Hey, welcome to Jet Life, and you're watching edition number 8, What's Love Got to Do with It? And part 4 is this: to love is risky business. That's why I have this heart with me today. But isn't it funny when you think about taking risks, that we really do take risks in life? We'll drive a car too fast. We'll drive a car on a 2-lane road where another car going 55 miles an hour or faster is approaching us, and that's risky. We'll play sports that are risky. We'll work jobs that might be risky. We'll even swim in an ocean that has sharks. That's kind of risky too, don't you think? And many of us, and many of you watching, will still say, Jeff, loving others God's way is risky. And you might be saying, if I do that, Jeff, people will take advantage of my heart. People will hurt my heart. They'll stomp all over it. But real love, you guys, if you've been listening to the last 3 segments, you know real love is basically giving love out without expecting to get anything in return. Will people hurt you? Absolutely. Usually the ones closest to you. But loving will hurt less when you start to get the idea that God is attempting to love through you onto other people. And if you continue to journey with Him, He'll put your heart back together each time it gets stomped. And He'll ask you again and again, because He's the God of love. He is love. He wants you to love like He loves. And so He'll continue to ask you to love. Well, why should we risk it? Why? First thing is this: it's part of how you're going to win at life. It's part of how you're going to pull out of a pit and go to your God-given purpose. And then I want to share a scripture with you today. One scripture from 1 John 4:12. Listen to this. It says, "No one has ever seen God, but if we love one another, God lives in us, and His love is made complete in us." So here's the guarantee. The guarantee of God abiding in us and His love being perfected in us happens as we love others. And then get this: people will begin to see God, the invisible God, through your life and the relationship you have with Him, and they'll want what you have. That's pretty exciting. So here's how I got to this point after running away from God for 33 years and then tasting His love. I say it this way: I love being loved by God. I love loving God. I love learning more about heavenly love. And I love pleasing the Lord who loves me. That's my statement. Maybe it'll stick with you as well. But that's really why I risk it and stick my heart out there over and over again with God's help. And really, it's being an instrument of God's love, like I hinted at before. And here's the deal, as we finish today: loving God's way is one of the biggest rushes you'll ever experience, especially if you hadn't been loving for a long time or didn't even know what love was, like me. But I compared it to when I raced sprint cars. The first time I got to race at Manzanita Speedway, which is a big half mile, they told me in a wing sprint car, they said, "Now leave the throttle down, do not let off, and do not turn the steering wheel as you're approaching turn 1. And trust me," they said, "the car will turn on its own." Well, when that wall's coming closer and closer and it's facing you and you don't do it, and then the car does what they said it would do, that was one of the biggest rushes I've ever experienced in my life. But I'm here to tell you that when I began to participate with God and let Him love people through me, that's more than a rush compared to that. It's just the same as when I'd share Jesus with other people. That's a rush like crazy. And so that's worth the risk, loving people God's way. And look what happens then. When you do it, the world around you is going to change. With love comes blessings from God. Also what comes is peace and joy like you've never experienced from God, and a oneness with God that you've never tasted. It's great. So I'm saying to you today, as we close this whole series, decide to risk it and love. And you'll find yourself pulling out of the pits and into your purpose. You'll find yourself winning at life. Do it, do it, do it. I'll see you for the next segment. Have a great day.